Hey everybody, my name is Roy and I'm the founder of New York Tea Society. I'm going to start a new series today. It's called Yi Tian Yi Cha, one day, one tea. So let's go ahead and get started, and today we're focusing on Longjing, otherwise known as Dragonwell. I am going to brew a tea a day for everybody and try not to repeat the same tea for as long as possible. I think I should be able to get through about 6 months. But let's see, we're gonna start off with green teas. The tea today that I've chosen is Longjing tea. Let me just weigh out a little bit here. And we're going to use a 1:20 ratio. Just to tell you a little bit about it, it is a green tea, which is a bud and a leaf, or a bud and two leaves. This is a bud and two leaves, I believe. And it is one of the oldest green teas. It comes from Zhejiang province, specifically from the West Lake region of Hangzhou. And we're gonna go ahead and brew. So I am going to give us 2 fairness pitchers. I do want it to move around the leaves like that. And we want to get the leaves moving so that they release more compounds, a little bit of agitation. And then we're going to let it brew for about a minute or so. You need to use all of your senses in order to tell when it's the right brewing. So I'm looking at this, you're starting to see the little greenish tint. Maybe if I have a piece of paper back here, I can put something in the back for you to see a little bit better. So you start to see the greenish tint starting to come out of the leaves. And if you look at the leaves a little bit closer, you're gonna start to see them open up a bit. And then I want to smell them, because right now the color is telling me that this is almost ready to brew. You know, I didn't even have to put that up to my nose. I kind of, when it was right here, I already smelled it. So I'm going to say that this is now ready to brew. I am going to leave a little bit of water on the bottom there, covering the leaves. And I'll explain that when we do our second brew. I'll explain to you why, okay? So this already, it looks fairly thick. The color is beautiful. It's a pale green color that you should have. And the aroma, if you were here, it's a very it's a green cut grass, a little bit of edamame background. There's a sweetness to it. It smells really nice, and I'm very anxious to try it. This is the 2026 Harvest Green Tea, and it is very fresh right now, which is when you should be drinking your green tea. You should not be drinking your green tea too far out. I like to drink my green tea within the first 3 months. I do keep my green tea and will drink it up to a year. I wouldn't suggest for anybody out there to go past 2 years with their green tea. At that point, use it for cooking or something, right? But after a year's point, I would do something else with it. I would start using it for a cold brew. And yeah, green tea is great for cold brew. Just put in double the ratio that you would use. So instead of 1 gram per 20 ml water, you will use 2 grams per 20 ml water. And you would put cold water over the leaves in a liter and leave that overnight. And you would have a beautiful brew the next day. This is beautiful. It looks very thick, actually. Very nice, very nice. Exactly what I would expect from a green tea. Here is the second brew. You can notice I left some water in there, okay? I did not completely unbrew it. And the reason for that is that I am going, when I do the second brew, normally the second brew is going to be much lighter than the first brew. We'll agree on that. But because this brew has now been concentrating, that lighter brew will match the first brew. So you end up with 2 decent brews. And then you can go on to do the third the same way. Again, you leave some in the bottom and you do the same thing. Okay, I'm ready for brew 2. But before we do, let's give Monkey a little bit also so he doesn't get upset. We're gonna do the same way. We have 180-degree water here. And we're going to go ahead and brew those leaves. If you see they've opened up quite a bit, and you can start seeing in there the leaf and the bud picking of the Longjing. It's really beautiful tea. I didn't talk about the cultivar yet, but so in Longjing, there are two main cultivars that are used. There's Chuan tea, which is the original cultivar, and that was later replaced with Longjing 43. Most commonly today, you'll see Longjing 43. For Longjing 43, it gets a bigger yield for the farmers. It looks prettier. It's a very nice green, emerald green color, right? It's just a shinier, more pretty leaf to look at than Chuan tea is. Chuan tea is not as attractive as Longjing 43, but it does produce a much better tea, in my opinion. And that's why usually I will try to seek out Chuan tea rather than Longjing 43. I think I'm going to go ahead and look at the color on that. The aroma is there. This really does smell like edamame, actually. It's almost identical to the first brew. It didn't change that much because you have that concentrated one plus the weaker brew. It makes it more balanced. And they get a touch drier this time around. But it's still a very pleasant Longjing nutty flavor. It gets the nuttiness from when they are making Longjing. After the picking, after the wilting, they're going to do the kill green stage, which is the stage all green teas have to go through to kill the enzymes. And they will use a flat pan, and with their hands, they will go against the hot pan, and that's why you end up with a flat leaf and that little bit of yellowing on the leaf, and it creates nuttiness from the mallet reaction that's happening. True, nowadays you don't find everybody doing it by hand. There's a lot of machines now that are being used in order to speed up the process of this, but traditionally that is how it was made. We're going to go on to brew number 3. Okay. So now they have completely opened up. Green teas, because in the kill green stage, we have killed all the enzymes, right? In order to lock in that green color. We also cannot expect it to change much, to modify its flavor much. So every day that you hold on to green tea, it's going to lose flavor, it's going to lose aroma. And that's the reason why we all get very excited at this time of year right now in early May, because the teas are fresh. They've just been harvested, they've just been processed, and they're as fresh as we can get them here, other than being at the farm. So this is a very exciting time for the green teas in the green tea world. This is Longjing. Let's just see. I'm gonna give it a little longer time. Okay, even though they are completely open and full, I did not get the aroma that I want. This brew is gonna take a little bit longer. Green teas normally get 3-4 brews. Sometimes if you really want to push it, if I'm at home and I'm getting lazy and I don't want to switch to another tea, I may push it to 5, right? But 3 or 4 brews is really what you should expect from a green tea. I personally don't rinse most of my teas, but absolutely I would not rinse green teas because I'm only going to get 3-4 brews out of it. I don't want to throw out that first brew, which in my opinion was fantastic. So no, I'm not going to throw it out. Okay. This tea also, if you know your sauce and you know how clean your tea is, in my opinion, it's okay to do that. So let's go ahead and brew this out. This time, because I am not going to do a 4th brew, I am going to go ahead and brew everything. I have a little stone here where I put the leaves on, so I can take a little look at them. So this is the picking. See a bud in the leaf. It's a very beautiful picking for Longjing. Here's another one. Okay. So this is what Longjing should look like. This is what the brew should look like. And this is what it should taste like. I'm Roy, I'm from New York Tea Society. This is day 1 of a tea a day. I hope you'll continue joining me, and I hope you've been able to relax with your green tea today. And if you're not, if you're feeling stressed, then do what Buddha said and just let that shit go. See you next time. Bye.